Hello, hello, hello. I don't know why I said that. Alright guys, so I am live right now. I am going to do something right here. 1 second. Should have this set up. Now I'm gonna babbling a little bit today. It's 8 o'clock, so whoever want to join me, I will wait for a minute. Going to do something. Okay, sorry about that. I'm just looking at the chat here. If anybody come out. Alright. Sorry. You know what? Hold on. Let me do this. There you go. Okay. Let me put this up here so I could see that. Alright, so hopefully everybody could hear me. So this one is a new microphone, so hopefully I sound better. It seems like better though, but anyway. Alright guys, so I'll be waiting for a couple minutes here and I will be kind of set up a little bit. Now I was looking at the housing market earlier. It's kind of like weird because like a year ago, oops, sorry, let me let a couple friends know real quick. Yeah, so what I was gonna say, I noticed that there's a lot of housing putting up on sale right now, you know. While a couple years ago, you would, you know, kind of click on this and you wouldn't see much happening here. Now, this would be any, if you do any, you could probably see even more housing, you see. For me, you know, I love something that is HOA, no HOA. That's usually the appeal because I don't want to deal with, you know, all the bull crap that happens. It's just my dream, you know, a dream of mine to own a place one day. We will see if I could achieve that, you know. But yeah, this price seems to more and more now I see there's a lot of price cut. Look at this. $500,000 right there. That is insanity, you guys. Okay, so I hope I'm loud enough. Okay, let me go back here. This is a treasury bond. I'm going to talk about that a little bit while I'm waiting for people. And of course, this is our favorite chart to look at. This is GameStop. Okay. Let me I'll wait 1 more minute before I start my video. Oops. Sorry, let me see. There you go. Da, 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 da. Alright, so let me start the video right now. Sorry if you just joined later on and you don't know what I'm talking about. You could rewind and watch later on. So, one of the things that I want to talk about is the 20-year treasury bond, okay? Within this couple of days, ever since from Monday, wait, I think this is Friday. Yes. So this is the trading of Friday. It seems like Friday was the bottom. And then you have this kind of movement of like massive, massive movement, right, of treasury bond. Now, this is a 20-year treasury bond, like I said before. And the reason why I'm looking at this is because this might be the biggest opportunity to buy into 20-year treasury bond. Now, I have no experience in this. But from what I've heard is that when you hear about, sorry, I'm trying to find a better time frame to show this particular growth here. I guess what I'm trying to say is that this might be the bottom right here. It could come down a little bit more because again, people are buying treasury in droves right now, whether it's because due to the fear of the what's going on in the Middle East right now. We all know that. I'm not going to mention what's going on because again, it's one of those things where it's hard to talk about because number one, you don't know what's going on. Number two, I just feel like if I say anything, it's just going to be my opinion, right? And my opinion doesn't matter. No matter what I say, who I side with, somebody's going to get hurt. And, I just want peace to ensue. But it's kind of tough when somebody is making money on that. You see a lot of defensive stocks out there. And by defensive, I mean like, military base or some sort of like military contract. Those type of stocks went up pretty much a lot over the past couple of days, right? So, but anyway, my thought is that this might be the best time to buy into 20-year treasury bond. Now, if I related that to GameStop, obviously we have some, marketable security, which is treasury bond. And now, while I don't know which one Ryan Cohen or the board of director of GameStop bought into, I could technically predict that the value of the bonds could go up because at some point the Fed is going to have to lower the rate in order to, not crash the stock market. But I think we're due for a crash, but I just feel like they're going to use this war to kind of prop it up a little bit longer. Yeah, that might be beneficial for people who kind of want to flight to safety, right? And to me, I think it's good for GME as well. If the rate went down and the value of the bond goes up. So if you measure from the bottom to the top, that's 6% increase right there. And on top of that, you will have the dividend coming in from for every shares that you own. All right, so it looks like one other person just joined me. If you could type in the chat for me, would be great. All right, so I'm just talking about the bond right now. So today, trading for GME was pretty interesting. I'm looking for these levels right here. Now, if you guys watching my channel before, you've seen all this line that I kind of have an eye on. The next level is right here, around $12. Okay, so if I could do that would be, if I could show you that real quick. So this is a 1 week candle. So let me switch it to 1 day candle right here. Now, they could ping pong it until, scares the market and then boom, right? When you see the fear in the market, it's kind of like indicative of the market crash. Right? You have wars going on. Stock market usually do not like uncertainty. They don't want that at all. So usually there's a sell-off that's happening. So I wouldn't be surprised to see GameStop at $12 just to scare more people to buy or sell, as they fall from here. Now, again, it could even drop even more down here. And that would be the last support for when, they removed the buy button and everybody was just selling, right? And if that level doesn't hold, which is around $10 right there, you are going to look at, hold on, let me do it here. Right there. So it could go down to even $8.40 right there. Okay. So from 9 right here, or $10, around $10 right there. Where did I get it from? It's from the last low of, when they removed the buy button, everybody was panicking. Oh my God, I can't even buy, I have to sell out. And then it stopped here. And then guess what happened? Boom, right? It went immediately up. So again, they might, try to scare more people. But hey, just so you know, Ryan Cohen bought in right here, okay, these 2 days. And then he bought in right here, okay, sometime in June 9th. So that price point was around $22 a share, just so you know. All right, so with that, let me start the video right now. Looks like nobody's watching, so you guys can watch it later on. I'm not gonna stay long today, but I'm gonna mention a lot of like tokenized stuff, crypto, of course GameStop, and Ethereum-based, right? And those are the technology that GameStop has been getting into, and people are kind of shitting on it, right? Why are they spending hundreds of millions of dollars on a platform that doesn't do anything? It's a failure, Ryan Cohen spend and waste money and all that BS, right? But before I show you that, I want to show you this first, though. Let me turn that off so you could see what I'm trying to show you. So this is a weekly, but if you go to a monthly, right, you could see a little bit better. Now, what I'm trying to show you is this right here. You see this little volume right here? And I'm sure, if you watch Moran's Rants, he showed you this as well. But I just want to kind of show you even more, that you could do this yourself. You don't need me or Moran's or whoever to tell you this is happening. You could go verify it yourself. You see all this volume right here? This is indicative volume. So this is people buying, okay? If you look at that candle right here and look at the number right here while I have my cursor down there, it's 5.05 billion volume, billion shares being traded back and forth right there. 5.05 billion shares, okay? And then if you look at this particular candle right here, the small one here, let me write it so that you could see it better. Right here, this candle, you could see that, okay, sorry, I can't draw. This red candle right here is 3.3 billion shares. Now, red is indicative of selling pressure. So you have a buying pressure of 5 billion minus 3 billion, 3.3, but let's just round it off to 3, okay? So that means you have 1 billion shares being bought right here. But for some reason only 3 billion being sold. And then on top of that, when you have this particular month, now remember each candle represent 1 month, okay? And then the month after that, people were buying. How much? 2.71 billion shares this month. Okay. And then the next month, even, it went down. The selling pressure went down from 2.7 billion to 0.689 million. 0.689 billion. Sorry. When you talk about billion, you have to add zero on top of that. But if you look at that, and then you just add these 4 months, when the run's happening, you see that? If you add 5 billion of buying, and then 2.7 billion of buying, and then 500 million of buying. So that's 3 months right there. Versus the selling pressure, right? You see that? So the selling pressure is always in less volume than the buying pressure. But for some reason, the price comes down. What gives, right? It's not that we're selling as retail. We keep buying. It's just that they have the ability to ping pong the price because the volume is so low. If you look at this right here, you see, from 5 billion shares being traded in 1 month versus right now, the last month was, well, let's not look at the last month. Let's look at the previous month, which is the September. Because, right now it's still October, so it wouldn't be fair. So if you look at the September month, it was 73 million shares. So let me say it again. From 5 billion shares to 73 million shares. It's a huge difference here. But look at this. Like if retail were to sell, just like what they're trying to tell you, that this is running out of steam, then you would have seen red candle a lot higher than what you're seeing right now. Now, if you look at another stock like AMC on the same time frame, you would see a different see this? So this is a monthly time frame, the same. Remember, they keep telling you that AMC is the same as GameStop all the time, right? But look at this. You see that? 500 million. What is this? Close to 500 million. But guess what? Only 500 million share give you this massive run right there. Remember, like 800% or whatever. Right? It just means that they allow this thing to happen, right? Remember, GameStop was 5 billion shares being traded back and forth. This one, during its run, only 600 million shares. So that's a comparison right there. If you add these two candles together, okay, 1 billion versus 5 billion shares being traded back and forth. So these two stocks are not the same thing. And on top of that, you have retail been selling like crazy, right? Because again, like this is what indicative of what selling pressure is like if retailer indeed selling out of this stock. So yeah. Stop comparing these two because it's just ridiculous at this point. All right, and then let's get to the meat and potato of this particular video.
Transaction on JP Morgan's.
Okay, so let me kind of set this up a little bit now. This is a Paul Barron network, and he usually cover like crypto stuff for a couple years now, I think. And I used to go to him and watch about crypto and all that stuff, just to have some knowledge about crypto a little bit more. I haven't been doing a lot of crypto stuff lately. Yes, I own crypto. I own a couple of cryptocurrency that you may or may not know about, but I'm not going to mention it here. But this particular article, though, just come out today, obviously. It's talking about BlackRock and JP Morgan teaming up to do a blockchain launch. Okay, let me say that again. BlackRock has $10 trillion in our asset under management, okay? Versus JP Morgan have, $2 trillion, in a whole bunch of stuff, right? Asset or whatever. So now I'm just making up numbers here. I don't actually know how much JP Morgan has in their asset versus liability. All I know is that this is one of the biggest bank. JP Morgan is one of the biggest bank in America, in the world actually. And BlackRock is just a hedge fund, right? So this is good news for blockchain base, but what I want to focus on too is asset under Ethereum asset. Okay. Now, Ethereum based type of blockchain is very interesting because you could use Ethereum to do anything, right? Technically, that's what they tell you. I'm not a technical person. I'm not a coder, so I don't actually know how it works. I just know from what I learned about Ethereum. And one other platform that I am familiar with that kind of relate to this is what GameStop has been building, right? And if you know anything about blockchain or GameStop, Ethereum-based type thing, you see this? Now, I know like people keep shitting on this particular platform, saying that it's nothing, it's just a fad, look at it, NFT go down in value, 90% from its high, and it's just such a short-minded horizon, Yes, NFT on the face of everything, these JPEG thing that people think that it's just electronic arts and all that stuff. Well, these are fun. Look, you could buy it at $3 right here. That's a beautiful picture. If you wanted to play on your wall, for whatever reason, you could do that. Look how beautiful it is. See, and it only costs you $3. The idea is to put this on one of those digital, picture frame so that you could have your NFT right there. And in the future, you could sell it to somebody else at a higher price or even a lower price if you wanted to. It's up to you. But if you buy it, it belongs to you. It's on the blockchain. And this is built up on what it's called Loopring, right? Now, Loopring is a layer 2 Ethereum-based digital asset, platform. There you go. And so the reason why this is such an amazing news, I know it has nothing to do with GME, but the fact that they are using Ethereum-based anything, it's immense. Now, what am I trying to say? One of the things that people don't realize is the immense, potential to do anything, right, with NFT marketplace. And I made a video about it before, and I don't know how many people watch my old video, but one of the things that I was looking at or even kind of thought of, right, for NFT marketplace for GME is the fact that they could make NFT into anything that they wanted to. It could be a JPEG, just like you see here, right? JPEG, electronic arts, or just a 2D game, just like this, right? Now this you could play, and you could buy these asset in the game, and you could own it as a character. Hey, if you want your character to have blue hair, there you go, you have one. You just have to spend this much Ethereum on it, right? And this is on Immutable X. That's another Ethereum-based crypto, right? That works on Ethereum. Again, those are layer 2. And yes, every time you spend Ethereum, Immutable X is going to get some cut. And of course, GME is going to get some cut as well. Now, those are actually 2 use cases already. So asset in the game and JPEG as electronic arts, right? And then what? Look, 2D games, right? Now, if you could make 2D games in this particular blockchain-based platform, you could technically do a 3D games in here. So it's coming. People are going to build on this platform, okay? Or build on another platform and sell it on this platform. Because why? Because it's GameStop, right? It's the origin of NFT, right? Origin of NFT. I might be slapped in the face when people hear it. No, it's not an origin of NFT. Yes, GameStop did not invent NFT, but I think they are positioned in making NFT to be the mainstream, okay? And they could make it cool. They could make it more popular, to own NFT. And then, of course, you have all these cool games that is already out and you could play it right now. And then you have a shooting game here where, you have these characters that you could buy into and, enjoy the game as this whatever. And then you have in-game asset right here, as I stated before, the guns, the skin, and all that stuff. So, Caraverse, it's kind of like Fortnite-ish type of shooting game. And, you could. Now, I have not played any of this because I don't like shooting games type of games, so I wouldn't win anything anyway because I'm just terrible at it. But, all of this stuff, you see like the asset in the meta gates, right? So you could buy a room, you could buy a furniture to furnish up your metaverse in the future. So those type of things, are valuable for some people. Right? And of course you have this right here. It's called Loopring, right? That is also Ethereum-based, okay, platform. Now, when JP Morgan and BlackRock are like making Ethereum-based to be a mainstream like this, it's not to be taken lightly, you guys. Yes, all of the ramification for this, it just make this institution a lot more powerful, right? Why? Because they're just so big already. Now they're all up in crypto, right? It used to be a scam before. Now simply it's not a scam. Now they're all up in, it's just so ridiculous. And, when they tell you not to buy into something, you better look into it. When the media is all up against something, just like Ethereum before. Remember, it used to be thief. It used to be, it's just magic internet money. Don't worry about it. It's not to be, confused with, we already have the technology. We already have the digital dollar. We don't need crypto to do this and that. Now they're all up on it, right? Because they see the value in there that most people don't see. But they just don't want to buy it at a higher price, so they have to scare, whoever is scared of holding crypto by telling their regulator who they are owned by them, or take suggestion from them to go after a certain industry or whatever, right? Allegedly, to do what? To slow the growth of certain industry, right? And it just so happened that GameStop was caught in that on that cock of wheel of injustice. When the SEC come after a certain crypto, it just causes a ripple effects on every other crypto, right? Because crypto are so interrelated that if they come after Bitcoin, come after Ethereum, come after XRP, which is being sued by the SEC, and they were sued to the tune of more than $1 billion, right? Of, they were accused of selling unregistered security at the time. Now, I don't want to go into it because it's just like the lawsuit. If you want to follow it yourself, it's called XRP versus the SEC. So if you want to look into that, but essentially they go after that particular coin since 2 years ago, almost, right? 2001, December, like around Christmas time, they just dropped the lawsuit, right? Now, whether this is another thing too, like Ethereum-based product would not have been taken place just like this. And it's really easy to connect the dot, when you hear about stuff like that. And, I urge Rans to look into Ethergate, and you will understand where I'm coming from when I said this. Now, I'm not a person to dig around and find all these dots. I just connect it as I see fit, and I may not have the evidence to show you. It's just that circumstantial gives me that conviction of like, oh, I think this is what happened, right? So my intuition is this, is that the reason why they go after XRP at that time, and you could see it in the documentary too, like in the lawsuit, there's been file after file saying at the time, Jay Clayton was the chairman of SEC, and he was the one who, before he left the office, like within a couple weeks of his leaving office, he dropped that lawsuit on XRP. Now, XRP was a direct competitor to Ethereum, okay? Now, Jay Clayton now is working for some Ethereum-based. Now, I don't know if he resigned by then, but right after that, he went to work for some hedge fund that was investing in Ethereum. And then you have Bill Hinman the same way. Now, I don't remember if Bill Hinman was before Jay Clayton or Jay Clayton was before Bill Hinman. But these two characters, the same thing. Now, Bill Hinman was the one who gave a speech on how, Ethereum is not a security. Bitcoin and Ethereum is not a security. So if Ethereum is not a security and XRP is, then what is the difference between the two? Because XRP doesn't have any IPO. What is it? A public coin offering, right? It's the same thing as IPO, essentially. Public initial coin offering, the way that crypto people say it, right? ICO, sorry. I'm just trying to look at the acronyms. So in the crypto world, it's kind of like what the, Wall Street world is. But what I'm trying to tell you is that the reason why the SEC went after XRP is because they're trying to protect Ethereum-based platform. And you could see why. Who wants to get into Ethereum right now? It's BlackRock, JP Morgan, right? So it's not much of a stretch to then draw the line or connect the dot to say that, hey, perhaps BlackRock, JP Morgan has influence over what the SEC is doing. So since XRP was the biggest competitor to Ethereum, let's try to impede their growth. Let's try to, sue them to oblivion, right? And sue for $1 billion. Like, what the F? They don't even sue Citadel, who's been found to mislabel trade for 5 years $1 trillion, $1 billion. Do you hear what I'm trying to say? Now I'm going off tangent here. It's ridiculous, you know, and this is why it's so frustrating to me that people don't even see, you know, these type of things. Now, I'm not bashing the Ethereum at all. I'm not saying that Ethereum is useless. Ethereum has its use, but it's not the most effective or efficient blockchain out there because it's very expensive. Okay, if you use any Ethereum on the first layer, right, aspect of it, now they have make solutions on the layer 2, which is what GameStop has partnered up with Loopring, you know, years ago, right? Because it's very cheap to transact on Loopring layer 2. And if you want to kind of move your fund in Ethereum, in Loopring, right, you could move it on layer 2, then you could transfer it to layer 1, and then you could interact with layer 1 Ethereum-based anything, right? And technically, if JP Morgan and BlackRock comes up with a blockchain that could interact with the public ledger of Ethereum-based anything, then it's not a rocket science to then draw on. It's like, hey, you could capitalize on this and switch to, you know, these type of thing. But again, these are for like, you know, a private client here. Okay, so they might be a wall garden, you know, that keeps regular people from benefiting from this. You see what I mean? So they poop on it and then they scoop on behind your closed door. They call it a poop and scoop method, right? They tell you it's a scam, it's like dangerous for regular people to use, but then behind closed door they develop something like this where they use the same exact thing that they were saying it was a scam before, right? And then they use their regulator friends to impede the growth of their competitor so that they could come on top right here. It's just so blah, right? Now, I'm kind of babbling right now. Let me drink real quick. Now, let's do this real quick. I'm going to end it in about 7 more minutes. But yeah, I hope I make sense real okay, hold on. Let me do this real quick. Let me show you.
BlackRock shares go digital on JP Morgan's Onyx blockchain. This is a pretty significant thing. I think when you look at what's happening, and we've talked about this quite a bit, you know, over the past months and actually for quite some time, that the tokenization of these kinds of assets are going to become reality. BlackRock, world largest asset manager, tokenized its money market fund shared that were later provided as collateral to Barclays in an over-the-counter derivatives deal, okay? And then you have BlackRock executed a transaction on JP Morgan's Ethreum-based, keyword here, Onyx blockchain and tokenized collateral network, TCN. So this is a pretty big deal for one of the biggest financial institutions out there, especially when you look at the history of what Jamie Dimon has said in the past. He's not a big fan of this, but the fact that they're actually doing something in this space, I think goes alternatively to what's really happening in Wall Street for sure. All right, so last up on this is third largest banking institution in the U.S., Citigroup launched Citi Token Services in September. This is a blockchain-based cross-border payment solution for institutions, which is going to use tokenized deposits and smart contracts for real-time settlement. You probably saw this on our own channel here not too long ago. We actually did a video on this. Make sure and check this video out. Citibank tokenizing all assets. This only shows the case that we're making here is that it is moving much faster even than I thought of how we're going to see tokenization of real-time assets and hard assets out there within the marketplace. And Ethereum is going to be the beneficiary of this. So listen into this first clip. I want to jump over to this clip real quick. It gives you kind of an insight to where maybe Web3 is growing altogether. And guess who says it? JP Morgan. Listen in.
Yes. So we really view Web3 and Metaverse as kind of next chapter of the internet. You could have really enormous transformational impact here. I think for Metaverse, you have early applications that are strongest in things like gaming. Meta, for example, believes that Metaverse will reach more than 1 billion users and support really hundreds of billions of dollars of e-commerce activity over time. 5G networks will certainly play a role here as well. And I think cloud, you're really seeing a tremendous amount of CapEx going into the public clouds right now. And of course, a lot of that is for current business, but I think it's also for development of a more, metaverse driven and Web3 world down the line.
Okay, so I'll end it there if you want to watch the whole movie. If you want to watch the whole... I don't know what's going on with my brain right now. If you want to watch the whole video, go ahead. But as you could hear there, of course, they're going into a space where Ethereum is going to be the base, protocol. And then he was mentioning about Web3 and gaming. This is exactly why GameStop, is going. And they never was given a credit for what, GameStop was doing, right? They were, being, paraded as if this is the ridiculous thing to do, when it's going to be the future, just like the JP Morgan people were saying right there, right? Now he works for JP Morgan, that's why I said that. And so it's not much of a stretch for you to think that this is a future. And it's going to generate billions and hundreds of billions of dollars. If GameStop could capture only 1% of that, what is 1% of 100 billion? It's $1 billion. So if they could capture $1 billion a year more than they are doing right now, it's amazing already, right? Now, do you really think GameStop gonna only capture 1% of that market? I would wager at least 10% of that market. Why? Because you have amazing followers in this particular storyline. Okay, you have, the short squeeze storyline, you have dumb money storyline. You have this revolution of gaming store that used to be a very small thing, and then David Worth versus Goliath story. You have a cultish follower of a group of investor who is diehard fan of this particular company. And you can't go wrong with that because, again, you have a support system. GameStop have a support system that every single company out there envies. Okay, that's why they're shitting on it. That's why they're telling you it's a terrible investment. Anything to try to deviate you from what is the truth of this company. So, all right, so it's been about 40 minutes or so. I'm going to leave you there. I hope I make some sense here. If you watch this later on, I apologize. I'm terrible at this, but I'm trying to get good at it. Like Moran's saying, you just have to, I'm not a Moran's obviously, so I can't do what he does. That guy is amazing, by the way. So, I will leave you with this. And to ponder the future of GME NFT, GameStop NFT, that is still in the beta. But with all of these news about launch a blockchain-based Ethereum asset, digital currency, Web3, with all of these narratives slushing around. Do not take an eye away from GME, because GME is one of the contender. Okay, if not number one, it's somebody to look out for. Okay, because they're going to be strong. They're going to have amazing balance sheets. They're going to have amazing quarters coming up, right? Fourth quarter, hopefully. But we're still looking at third quarter. So we will see. I guess I will see you in my live stream again. I might make a short video about something else. I just have to go take a nap real quick after this live stream. I don't know, I'm kind of a little bit tired today, but I just want to, come at you with this amazing news about the crypto space. And again, it's the future. It's the future. All right, so I will leave you here, and I will see you later.